all, it's Hannah and Jeremy with the Savory Suitcase.
On a rainy day in December, the day after Christmas to be exact, we headed to Port Everglades and boarded the Regal Princess for a New Year's Eve cruise to the ABC Islands.
We were lucky to be upgraded to a mini suite this time around, and after taking a quick nap in one of the top 10 most comfortable beds I've ever slept in, it was time for a cabin tour.
No photo.
No photos. The mini suite has a ton of closet and storage space, which we loved for our 8-night cruise. The bathroom is also quite spacious considering it's a cruise ship, and even has a full-size tub. The rest of the room is also a pretty good size with a full pull-out couch for if you planned on having a third and or fourth person in the room.
Why are you recording me?
Because we have a travel channel.
We do? Oh yeah! Like and subscribe. Savory Suitcase. But the best part is definitely the balcony.
Team. So please put your hands together, go wild and crazy for my dream team. We have Alex, Natalie, put your hands together. All come together back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She says,
After our official sail away, which happened in the piazza due to the rain, we explored the ship a little bit more. One of our favorite parts of the Royal Class ships is the sea walk.
Even though Jeremy is not fond of heights, here is proof that he braved the sea walk. never did find out what the sanctuary was like, as it was all booked up by the time we got on board. If you are interested in reserving seats, that absolutely has to be the first stop that you make when you get on.
On this itinerary, we began with 2 sea days. On our way down to the ABC Islands from Fort Lauderdale, we passed just a few miles off the coast of Cuba. The rest of the 2 days we spent relaxing and enjoying all of the different activities that the ship had to offer, like ice carving, checking out the specialty restaurants, and definitely not participating in the line dancing.
Back with the top, starting from your right. Doing 1, 2, 3, and top. Once again, doing 3 steps back, starting from your right with the top of your left. 1, 2, 3, and top. Then the topping on the back, topping on the front.
We joined the onboard destination expert for a talk about the history and culture of the islands that we were visiting.
As I mentioned, the languages, you have Dutch as the official, English, and also Papiamento. Now, I mentioned Papiamento comes from the Portuguese, but it also has a mixture of English, Spanish, French, Dutch, also the Arawak Amerindian, Rajasthan cruise docks. We are right near the center of Rajasthan. You got about 10-15 minute walk to get into town. We're on Saturday, and that's the 31st, 7 until 4:30. Currency here is the florin, Ruben florin. It's exactly the same in the exchange as the Norwegian guilder, but unfortunately, for some reason, they're not interchangeable.
And of course, we had to try out afternoon tea. The first sea day was a formal night, and there were 2 on this cruise, and they have even brought back the classic champagne waterfall that Princess is known for.
The champagne waterfall, and it is absolutely impossible to do this without the master of the vessel. Yes, the captain of the Regal Princess, Captain Paolo Arrigo! But wait, there's more, and we could not do this without our Director of Restaurant Operations, Nicola! All right, wow, oh my God, it looks so beautiful. Okay, so shall we count them down, you guys? All right, let's count them down together. Help me, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! Cheers! Oh my gosh, I'm getting sprayed over here. Let me move over. Wow, yes! So, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you are interested in getting up on the stairs and pouring into the champagne waterfall as well.
Curacao is a constituent country of the Kingdom of the Netherlands and is best known for the colorful and historic town of Willemstad, as well as the orange-flavored liqueur of the same name.
For our day on Curacao, we booked an all-day excursion through Princess to see the best that the island has to offer, including the Hado Caves, the Boca Tabla on the north end of the island, and a tour of the downtown shopping district of Willemstad.
Our first stop of the day was the Old Labor House, or Casa Pali Maishi, to learn about the traditional use of the abundant cactus plants on the island. We also learned about the lives of the enslaved people of Curacao from the Dutch slave trade and how they lived after the slave revolt of 1795.
Make the charcoal. So they dig a big hole, and the hole they will stack wood, and the wood that is stacked in there, up top of them, they will put dry leaves and dry grass, and then all the sand they got out of the hole, they will put it on top of it. They always make sure that there is 2 openings up front, 1 opening in the back. This and Mama carry the other 2 by hand. Okay? This is the way Mama carry one. Now, Washiku washe, kinota washe ya, kalimambe ya, toboku washe, kinota washe ya, kalimambe ya. Zoom, 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 zoom,
The next stop for the day was at one of Curaçao's national parks, the Boca National Park, known for the jagged coastlines and violently crashing waves. On the north side of the island, the Caribbean Sea has carved out unique rock formations out of the volcanic coastlines, and the powerful surf causes the waves to crash forcefully on the shore.
The last stop before lunch was at the Playa Canepa. This is one of the only beaches along the north shore that's suitable for swimming because of the protective cove. This is also a perfect spot for snorkeling, with a chance to see turtles.
After an afternoon stop back on the ship to grab lunch and a couple of those famous Princess Lavender Honey Lattes, we headed back out to continue the tour. The Hato Caves have a rich history on the island of Curacao, serving as shelter for the island's natives and as a hiding place for the enslaved peoples fleeing to find freedom.
Today, the caves have been preserved by the Curacao government to create a publicly accessible opportunity to see the cave's unique formations of stalactites and stalagmites. The cave is also home of a colony of rarely seen long-nosed fruit bats, but we tried not to think about that too much.
last stop of the day was to explore the historic area of Williamstad, with a walk back across the Queen Emma Bridge. After a day in Curacao, we made our way to our second port of Bonaire.
We didn't book an excursion with the ship this day, and instead we opted to rent golf carts to explore the island without a tour. The carts were $100 per person and only a short walk from the port to pick them up, and we made our reservation a few months before our trip by emailing Bonaire Cruisers.
Bonaire is actually the least visited of the ABC Islands, but was perhaps our favorite given all the things that we were able to see in a short day.
Along the south route, you'll come across the salt flats, with their distinctive pink hue. The salt, seen in the mounds off in the distance awaiting shipment, has been produced on the island of Bonaire since before the 1500s and continues today, producing some of the purest salt found in the Western Hemisphere.
Tied directly to the salt flats, further south you'll find the slave huts. In the 1800s, the enslaved peoples of the island worked in the salt fields during the week and stayed in these incredibly small living quarters. They then walked the 7 hours back into town on the weekends to spend time with their families. Bonaire is home to over 20,000 flamingos and has designated much of the south part of the island as protected land for the flamingos to nest and feed.
After lunch at a popular windsurfing spot, we made our way to the donkey sanctuary in Bonaire.
They carry all the heavy equipment for people and carrying people, pulling carts and all by building up the island until the cars and the luxury came.
Donkeys were originally brought to the island in the 1700s by the Spanish, but once modern cars took over much of the work they did, the donkeys became wild and roamed the island.
Do you like to be pet? Oh, hi.
This one just licked me. Hi.
Hey. Hey. No.
No.
Go drive. I can't have my water.
Baby.
No. Jeremy. You gotta,
Not gonna take anything.
you can't have that. It's not good for you.
We got a feisty one here. Hi, excuse me. Hi.
No. It ate my In the 1990s, the sanctuary was established to take care of any injured, sick, or orphan donkeys. They now take care of over 700.
Before it was time to head back to the ship, we headed to a few scenic spots on the north side of the island.
Aruba is our final stop on our ABC cruise.
We booked the semi-submarine and island drive tour through Princess for the day to make the most of our short visit and see some of Aruba's highlights.
Okay, that is important. My name is Fernando Alfonso Valentino Brown. Fernando Alfonso, and the driver today, the guy responsible for us is Raymond. He's gonna make sure we come back here safe and sound. Okay, today we're gonna have 4 stops. The first stop we'll do the Casibari rock formation, then we'll go by the natural bridge, then we'll do the sea part of the tour, the semi-submarine, and the last will be the California Lighthouse. Okay. We speak Dutch, we speak Pavimento. If you understand, let's say Spanish, Italian, or even Portuguese, you will understand a few words in the Pavimento language. And a lot of people speak Spanish, being so close to South America. For the Antillian Islands, you know, was the 6th island, the ABC Islands, and then the 3 S's, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, St. Martin, St. Eustatia, and Saba.
Our first stop was the Castleberry Rock Formation. This natural formation is a stark contrast to Aruba's relatively flat landscape. A quick climb takes you to the top, where you get a 360-degree view of the island.
Next, we headed to the Natural Bridge. Now known as the Baby Bridge, the original natural bridge, which spanned over 100 feet, collapsed in 2005 from the effects of Hurricane Katrina.
We then headed out to the pier to board a boat that took us to the semi-submarine.
minutes. You think you can do that?
No.
By the way,
The semi-submarine gave us a tour of the Arashi Reef and then the Antilla, a German freighter ship from World War II. This is a popular spot for snorkeling as well due to the abundance of colorful reef fish in the area.
Our last stop of the day was the California Lighthouse, built in 1910 and named after the SS California. That night after leaving Aruba, it was December 31st, so it was time to celebrate New Year's Eve.
Please put your hands together for your Captain Paulo Arrigo!
Make some noise! 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The next morning, we enjoyed a New Year's breakfast on our balcony. You may remember last summer when we got quarantined on our Alaskan cruise. Well, Princess provided this breakfast as a little treat to say no hard feelings for the 5 days you spent quarantined in your room instead of enjoying Alaska. Turn the bottle of the cork. Happy New Year!
In all honesty, Princess took great care of us while we were on that cruise, and we don't blame them at all for what happened. It's just the nature of traveling post-pandemic. And then the worst thing possible happened, and we ended up back in Fort Lauderdale, and they told us that we had to get off the ship. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and we will see you next week.